Well, hello. It looks like we have one other person here. So, um, let's see. So I hope you've had a good week so far. Happy, of course, happy June 1st. We're now getting into the summer months now. So, anyways, hope you're having a good week thus far. We are on hump. Yeah, as Wednesday is sometimes called Hump Day, meaning getting over that hump. Um, let's see, and with two people here, I guess I can talk a little bit about what we'll be doing tonight. I'll be going over 11 articles, all from CBR, and we have a person gone now. All right, maybe we'll wait a few minutes then before getting. Maybe I get. Oh, you're back. Okay. Ah. Anyways, so what we have on. Hubba bubba. hey, 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 Woody. All right. So as I said, we have 11 articles to go through, plus of course the wrestling roundup. Six anime stories, five comic stories. The 11 articles, all from Bounding into Comics, including talking about some of the upcoming anime movies that are coming out. Let's see, some of the most anticipated anime movies still to come in 2022. We've got let's see, what else do we have here that we're going to read through? Um, So Webtoons is kicking off a contest. Let's see. A Spy Family Tamagotchi lets fans raise their own Anya. We'll be looking at that. Um, we got a confirmation on a Fruits Basket's theatrical release. Um, we got let's see, no. We got some Dragon Ball. So we got some artwork from some new Dragon Ball art from the Assassination Classroom creator. We also are going to talk about how to get started with um, a manga series, anime series known as Skull Face Bookseller Honda-san. The comic side of it, there's a couple big stories in terms of Joe Quesada getting ready to leave Marvel, um, the Toronto Comics Arts Festival is apparently they've rescinded an invitation to somebody. Look at that. A couple other comic related stories, of course. And of course, we'll have the wrestling roundup towards the end, and then the This Day Needs History. Oh, we got three people. Hello. And as always, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Helps with the algorithm, so I do thank you guys for that. So why don't we go ahead and jump right into it then, since we do have some viewers here. Let's get right into the articles here. Just share that. Starting out with anime tonight because we have more anime stories than comic, but without any further ado, let's get going here. Here's our first article we're going to look at. The most and as always, guys, of course, feel free to, if anything catches your interest, feel free to comment or ask questions. We always like to try to make it as interactive as possible. So here we go. The most anticipated anime movies still to come in 2022. Many popular anime series are getting their shot at the big screen this year. Here's a list of the most anticipated upcoming anime movies of 2022. Article by Maham Arslan, published 23 hours ago. Let's see now. With 2022 already at its halfway point, anime fans are impatient for the upcoming film releases slated for this year. 2022 gave fans a promising start with highly anticipated anime series and movies that kept viewers glued to the screen. Birdie Wing, trapped in a dating sim, science fell in love, so I tried to prove it, and more have been the highlight of spring. Fortunately, there is more to come, and the lineup is sure to impress. Without further ado, here are the top upcoming anime movies of 2022 that shouldn't be missed. Isseikai Quartet, Another World. Now, from what I understand, Isseikai Quartet is basically kind of a parody series of slice of life animes. And I guess this one is focusing on another world, which I'm guessing is probably a parody of a restaurant, a restaurant from another world. I'm guessing. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this. Anime utilizing the chibi art style. Now, for those of you who don't know what the chibi art style is, that's basically when you make characters look kind of like, really like cutesy or kid like, childlike. Um, like for those of you who know Rini from you know chibi, I think actually translates to the little. I think chibi is a Japanese word for little because you got like Chibi Usa from from Sailor Moon. Chibi Usa is of course little Rini, so Chibi Usa actually stands for little rabbit. Translates little rabbit because Serena's real name in Sailor Moon, her Japanese name is Usagi, which is Japanese for rabbit or bunny. So, anyways, chibi art style is always a treat to watch, especially when it features popular protagonists from different series. Isseikai Quartet movie, Another World, will be a crossover event featuring characters from Overlord, regarding Zero starting life in another world. That's one of the ones I was thinking of. Saga of Tanya the Evil, Cautious Hero, and Konosuba. And yeah, that basically I believe that's what a lot of these Isekai quartet movies are, is that they're like crossover events among different animes. The visual art for the movie featured recurring characters and teases new cast members, while the trailer also confirms the appearances of new characters. The movie will be officially released in Japan on June 10th, 2022. So that will be 1 week from this Friday, basically. Alice and there's illusion, Alice and Therese's um, illusion factory. Let's see, any no, people are still here, so that's good to know. Let's continue on with the next one then. The prolific writer of Black Butler and Makia, When the Promised Flower Blooms, is bringing another original film to the screens. Mari Okada describes Alice and Therese's illusion factory as a first love fantasia. Even though there's no official synopsis available for the movie yet, Okada goes on to define it as a movie that will focus on youth stuck in an uncertain world where love is their only weapon. The audience can expect an emotional watch with a refreshing romantic story. Unfortunately, there's no official word on the release date of the movie. Several sources suggest that the film will land sometime in late 2022. Dragon Ball Superhero, and this one's been talked about for months now. So let's see This one. The legendary franchise is set to release this year's Dragon Ball movie, featuring an antagonist force by the name of Red Patrol Army. Upcoming now, from what I understand, the Red Patrol Army is, I guess, an offshoot of the Red Ribbon Army from the original Dragon Ball series. I think that's where they get it from. The upcoming Dragon Ball movie will be the franchise's 21st, 21 films, huh? And will also be the first CG Dragon Ball animation. Fans are divided over the announcement nonetheless. They also excited to see what the mangaka Akira Toriyama has to offer. The plot will follow the two new powerful androids created by the Red Patrol Army to take revenge on Goku and his family. The movie has already impressed audiences in Japan, but the rest of the world still awaits the movie's release. Black Clover movie, and from what I understand, we're still not quite caught up on the Black Clover. I guess they're still dubbing the series, hopefully we'll get to see that dubbers, but maybe with some of the changes coming starting next week, Toonami, or a couple weeks here. But anyways, Black Clover movie. Let's see what this is about here. If seasoned anime fans were ever to pick a successor to Naruto, Black Clover would be at the top of the list. It is considered one of the best shonen anime to date. The trailer preview for the much anticipated Black Clover movie was shared on the manga's 7th anniversary. Sources have confirmed that production began back in early 2021 and that the film will grace the screens sometime in 2023. As of now, there's no official plot summary available for the upcoming movie. Well, they don't need to have one out yet if it's coming out in 2023. Fans are divided about whether the movie will take a completely original approach or adapt a manga story arc. Even though there's not much to go on, the fans can still expect a full-fledged trailer by the end of this year. And Black Clover is because, Black Clover, like a number of different shonens, has a protagonist that you really want to get behind in Asta. Asta, another underdog type character who, in a world where almost everybody has magic, he has none, and yet he becomes a magician by becoming a master of anti-magic. So it's an interesting watch for you guys might want to check out. Suzume no Tojimari. Let's see if there's any comments yet. Nope. Hope everyone's enjoying. After the success of Your Name and Weathering with You, fans were hoping that director Makoto Shinkai would produce his next film sooner than later. Following the same visual aesthetics, Suzume no Tojimari will tell the story of a 17-year-old Suzume who finds a mysterious door. She opens the door, releasing chaos and destruction across the country. As more of these doors start to open all over Japan, as expected of Makoto Shinkai, the story is expected to address complicated subjects and themes. While the trailer doesn't give away much, one thing's for sure, the visuals look absolutely stunning. The movie is scheduled to release on November 11, 2022. In Japan, there has yet to be an official release date for a North American release. Oh, there we go. So there we go with that one. All right, so getting ready to move on to the next article here. All right, so here's the next one coming. Yes, Mike, we're enjoying. Okay, thank you, Woody. All right, so getting ready to move on to the next story here. Webtoon kicks off contest looking for the next big action comic. Submissions are now open for Webtoon's 2022 Call to Action contest, which gives aspiring comic creators a chance to win $50,000 and more. Wow. Article by C.M. Ramsberg, published 11 hours ago. A Webtoon Call to Action contest. Webtoon is searching for its next big hit with its Call to Action contest, which is now open for submissions. Comic creators everywhere can now participate in the competition. Participants must submit original artwork between June 1st, which is today, and July 31st to enter the competition and be considered for the competition. The top 3 winners will receive offers to become Webtoon originals creators and receive cash prizes. First place will win $50,000, a Clip Studio Paint EX license, and have their story adapted into a short shonen-style animated video. Second place will receive $30,000 and a Clip Studio Paint EX license, and third place will win $20,000 and a Clip Studio Paint EX license. The 4th to 10th place finalists will also receive a cash prize of $5,000 and a Clip Studio EX license, while the top 10 honorable mentions will receive a Clip Studio EX license. Webtoon's panel of judges will announce the winners of the Call to Action contest on September 30th. Comic creators can view the full contest terms and entry conditions that are available on Webtoon's website. Quote, for many comic fans, superpowers and battling evil are the foundational formula for an exciting story, unquote, said David S. Lee, Vice President of Content, Webtoon US. Quote, Webtoon creators have brought incredible new energy, creativity, and diversity to Action Comics, giving fans a new generation of heroes to cheer for. Great ideas and content can come from anywhere, and we can't wait to see what thrilling adventures Webtoon creators submit for the 2022 Call to Contest, unquote. Contest is looking for the webcomics platform's next big action hit, as action and shonen have long been the most popular genre of manga. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much true. Action, no matter if it's manga, comics, or cartoons or anime, has always been a strong Harmon. Hi, yo, Mike. Hey there, Code 66 Gaming. I'm glad to see you. Haven't seen you except for the last couple of nights. You haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you back, though. Anyways, in addition to looking for their next action hit, Webtoon is also promoting some of the platform's biggest existing hits in the genre, including the um, the acclaimed fantasy manhwa Tower of God, Unordinary, and The God of High School, a popular battle series that was adapted into an anime by director Sung-Hoo Park, um, who is now best known for his work on the Jujutsu Kaisen franchise. Action readers may also enjoy additional titles like Ordeal, Gull, Doombreaker, and Code Atom. Readers can access the Webtoon platform online through the website or mobile app to browse its extensive library, action series, and digital content. There we go with that one. Weka TV. Billy Kamets. You ever watch Dark? No, I think I answered that one before there. Code 666. No, I have not watched. I don't watch Dark. Anyways. Anyways, getting ready to move on to the next article here. Here's the next one right here. Spy Family Tamagotchi lets fans raise their own Anya. Spy Family unveils a new Tamagotchi collaboration that will let fans step into Lloyd and your shoes and attempt to raise Anya themselves. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 10 hours ago. So, I'm sure many of you have heard about one of the new popular big hits right now, known as Spy Family, in which secret agent Lloyd Forger, in order for his next assignment, has to kind of out of thin air create a family to help get close to his latest target. So, which ends up being a wife who is a professional assassin named Yor, and an escaped psychic lab experiment named Anya, who portrays his daughter. So let's go ahead and Spy Family revealed a new Anya-focused virtual pet. The new device. Oh boy, I could just see the SJWs having a fit with this one, making Anya a pet. I could just see them crying out, "Oh, you're exploiting Anya again. You're doing bad things to Anya again." I wouldn't be surprised if they started all that garbage up again. Because they got nothing. Because Twidiots have nothing better to do. Anyways, let's see. The new device was first shown on a Japanese site, Anime, and is being produced by Bandai, creators of the Tamagotchi virtual pet. Yeah, as well as a number of other properties that we know of, including Gundam. The tiny electronic pet will be available with two case designs, with the first representing the whole Forger family in the series' trademark light green color, while the second pink unit features a design entirely inspired by just Anya. The telepathic troublemaker's appearance will also be customized within the virtual pet game itself, as players will be able to pick a variety of different outfits for the young forger, including her Eden Academy uniform, a witch costume, and a princess outfit. Yeah, watch the SJW, watch the Twidiots and the SJWs turn that into something perverse. Almost guaranteed. Watch the Twidiots and the SJW turn that particular feature of the game into, they'll start crying about it because they'll make some kind of stupid statement about, oh, she's only 6, you shouldn't be doing that to a 6-year-old, you shouldn't be dressing her up. Here, I guess, are some of the features of it. Players will need to keep Anya fed by supplying her a steady intake of peanuts, and they'll also need to keep her happy by playing several mini games with her at regular intervals. The device will contain 3 of these games, with the first 2 being dodgeball and a word match game, while the third has yet to be revealed. Anya will react to your parenting with several of her trademark expressions, including her now infamous and highly memeable smug face. Okay. Players will also be able to unlock short animations of Lloyd and Yor if they do well. But bad parenting will cause Anya to run away. Well, isn't that the case? Usually bad parenting causes any kid to run away, right? Even if they don't actually physically run away from him. But the Anya Tamagotchi will be released in Japan this December with a suggested retail value of 2,530 yen, or about $19 US dollars at current exchange rates. Spy Family was created by Tatsuya Endo in 2019 and was originally released as an exclusive for Shonen Jump Plus, a digital manga platform operated by Shueisha, the publisher of the hit-making weekly Shonen Jump magazine. The espionage-themed family comedy has quickly become one of the service's most popular titles, with its print releases achieving a global circulation of over 21 million copies. In addition to being a commercial success, Endo's manga has also been a hit with critics and has already been nominated for 2 Eisner Awards. First in 2021, where it lost to horror author Junji Ito's similarly acclaimed Remina, and once again in 2022, where it is once again in the running for the award for Best U.S. Edition of International Material Asia. The Spy Family anime is currently being simulcast on Crunchyroll. Endo's manga is available in English in both print and digital formats on Viz Media. Oh, there you go. Get ready to go on to the next article then. Here's going to be our next article here. All right. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna need to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back, but I will leave you with some music to listen to while I'm gone. All right, I'm back. Let's get ready to continue on with the next article then. All right, so the next article we're going to be looking at here, um, latest news on Fruit Basket. Fruit Basket Prelude confirms international theatrical release. Crunchyroll announces that it will give the Fruit Basket Prelude movie a limited theatrical release in the United States, Canada, and United Kingdom. Article by Michael Lasterna, published 8 hours ago. Details about Fruit Basket Prelude's official international release have finally been revealed. Crunchyroll announced that it will give the compilation film a limited release in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom this summer. The movie will premiere in the US and Canada in select theaters on June 25th, 28th, and 29th. So let me see. 21, 24. So 25th, that's a Saturday. 28th and 29th. So that, and then that's 4 weeks from today. The 29th is 4 weeks from today. So the end of the month here. So Saturday and then the following Tuesday and Wednesday. It will then make its way to the UK, where it will be screened on July 20th. Viewers in North America will be able to choose between subtitled or English dub screenings, while fans in the UK will only be able to see the film with its English dub. Crunchyroll also released a new trailer for the film, which is available with its original Japanese audio track and the movie's new English dub. And most likely, I think Funimation would be the one handling the dub. So, their voice actors. The new trailer focuses on the film's prequel storyline, which was animated for the first time for the movie. While the majority of the movie is a truncated version of Toru Honda's story from the 2019 anime series, the movie also tells the story of how her mother, the rebellious Kyoko Honda, originally met and fell in love with Toru's father, Katsuya. Additionally, the film also features a brand new epilogue scene that shows Toru and Kyo's lives following the conclusion of the main series. The cast and crew of the 2019 reboot will all reprise their roles for the movie, including Mamaka Iwami and Laura Bailey, who play the role of Toru in the Japanese and English, respectively. Kyo, Laura Bailey, who was with Funimation. Kyo will once again be portrayed by Yumi Uchida and Jerry Jewell. Kyoko will be played by veteran voice actor Miyuki Sawashiro of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fame, while Yoshimasa Hosoyo, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood Orphans fame, will play the role of Katsuya. Toru's parents will be portrayed by Lydia McKay and J. Michael Tatum in the dub. And excuse me again, Chloe's barking, so I gotta go tend to her real quick. I'll be right back. I'll leave you guys some music to listen to while I'm gone. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hello, you fool. I love you. Wanna join the joyride? Anyways, continuing on with the article here. Fruits Basket was created by author Natsuki Takaya in 1998. The series has remained one of the most popular shoujo manga of all time and is considered one of the most influential works in the genre alongside other 90s classics such as Yoko Kanno's Hana Yori Dango, Boys Over Flowers, and Naoko Takuchi's Sailor Moon. Prelude is based on the 2019 anime series, which was the manga's second anime adaptation. The first was produced in 2001, and while it was a hit at the time, it was criticized by fans and Takaya herself for straying from the source material and offering an incomplete version of the story. And that's sometimes what happens if you start doing manga or anime adaptations before the manga is finished too. Both anime series are now available for streaming on Crunchyroll and Hulu, while the original manga is available in English from Yen Press. There we go with that one. Already at the 44-minute mark, so we're making good time, it looks like. All right, here's the next one we're going to look at. Dragon Ball debuts new art by Assassination Classroom creator. Now, Assassination Classroom, for those of you who don't know, the series that's actually the anime series currently running on Toonami right now. It follows basically an experimental creature named Koro, who becomes a teacher, and basically the objective is for his class to basically learn how to kill him by the end of the series. But so it's a very interesting series. Um, I do highly recommend you guys check it out. So, anyways, um, so let's get to this. A new entry in the Dragon Ball Super Gallery project sees Assassination Classroom creator Yusei Matsui um, offering a lighthearted take on the project. Article by Michael Cerna, published 5 hours ago. So you got the on the left there you have Piccolo, and you got Gohan, little Gohan background there. On the right, you basically have you have Koro Sensei portraying kind of both characters there in a way. So a new cover in the Dragon Ball Super Gallery project has been released. This month's new art comes from Assassination Classroom author Yusei Matsui and was shared online by Weekly Shonen Jump News. Unofficial. So far, the entries in the anniversary project have seen the guest artists split between those who directly redrew Akira Toriyama's classic art in their own style, such as Beelzebub creator Ryohei Tamura, and those who used Toriyama's art as a loose inspiration for a complete original illustration, such as what Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba creator Koyoharu Gatoge did for their entry. Matsui split the difference between the two camps. While most of the image is a recreation of Toriyama's original manga cover, Matsui has replaced all of the faces with simple shapes, expressions, and reminiscent of the appearance of his manga's infamous alien teacher Koro Sensei. And here's so Dragon Ball Volume 20 by Yusei Matsui, Assassination Classroom. This is part of the Dragon Ball Super Gallery project to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the series. Now, I'm guessing that's a manga series because the anime series came out in 1986, so and it's not 40 years quite yet. It's like 36 years, but probably the manga they're talking about the 40th anniversary being. Let's see. Every month, different mangaka, which are manga artists, um, will redesign one of the 42 covers of the series until November 2024. All right, yeah. So the 40th anniversary is actually 1984. That's right. It was 84 that the. And let's see. Matsui chose to redraw the 20th volume of the series, which originally centered on a stern looking Piccolo with a young Gohan happily waving behind him. The, the volume was originally released in Japan in 1989, probably from the Dragon Ball Z saga. The new art is the latest entry in Shueisha's ambitious Dragon Ball Super Gallery project. Every month, the project selects another famous Shonen Jump manga creator and tasks them with redrawing one of Akira Toriyama's 42 original Dragon Ball manga covers. A new cover is planned to be released every month until November 2024, the 40th anniversary of the publication of Goku's very first adventure. So yeah, the 40th back in 1984. So yeah, so it's more like 32 years since the anime, but or no, actually no, 36 years since the anime. I was there. 36 right now, and then by the time and 38 for the 8 years for the. Anyways, previous artists who have released illustrations as part of the project include Naruto creator Masashi Kishimoto, Bleach's Tite Kubo, Chainsaw Man creator Tatsuki Fujimoto, and Spy Family artist Tatsuya Endo. Last month's entry came from Toriko creator Toriko. Toriko is a manga anime basically about um, it's not actually it's not actually in the Hunter x Hunter continuity. It's more in the One Piece continuity, but it's basically the idea of the gourmet hunters from Hunter x Hunter, but it's not Hunter x Hunter. It's not part of the Hunter x Hunter continuity. It's part of the One Piece continuity. Toriko. So, Toriko creator Mitsu Toshi Shimabukuro, who chose not to recreate Volume 19's cover, which featured Goku in a jet plane, and instead drew a tribute to Goku and Vegeta's first battle on Earth. Dragon Ball first premiered in 1984 and is now the third best-selling manga series in history, with over 260 million copies in circulation worldwide. Goku's adventures continue to this day with the ongoing Dragon Ball Super manga, which is still overseen by Toriyama and features art by his protege, Toyo Taro. The franchise will release its newest movie entitled Dragon Ball Super Superhero in Japan on June 11th, with a North American release planned to follow sometime this summer. Like Matsui's art, the movie will focus on Piccolo and Gohan, though they will look a little more like their usual selves in the film. So there we go with that one. Oh. All right. We might have to try to hurry along a little bit here. Let's see. So got quite a bit of stuff to cover. Just one more anime story here, then we'll get into the um then we will get into the comic stories. So this is our last anime article we're going to be looking at here. How to get started with Skullface bookseller Honda-san. You're looking to pick up the hilarious manga and anime series about working in a bookstore, then this guide is for you. Article by Gregory Segal, published 3 hours ago. So imagine that. Imagine going into a bookstore and seeing that face. I'm sure a lot of people would be like, get me the hell out of here. Spooky! The Skullface bookseller. Oh my goodness. Skullface bookseller Honda-san is a quirky series that is a must-watch for anyone who loves an anime that doesn't take itself too seriously. Both the manga and anime offer a slew of comedic moments that are not only imparted through the fantastic writing, but its completely off-the-wall art style. Each installment offers viewers an insight into the characters and experiences that are found when working in a bookstore where chaos often ensues. The plot of Skullface bookseller Honda-san. Look at that. Wow, a skull sweats? Look at that. Oh boy. Skullface bookseller Honda-san is a comedy slice of life series based on the real life experiences of its author, Honda, who worked as a clerk in the manga department of a bookstore. The show outlines a variety of humorous scenarios from highly impatient, strange customers to company workshop placements. Throughout the series, Honda-san informs the viewer about their job and the technicalities that come with it, whether it's how to effectively stack shelves or manga artists who want to sign their latest release. Skullface bookseller Honda-san is as educational as it is funny and manages to balance both of these components expertly. Within each episode, there are usually two particular situations that are covered, which aim to highlight a certain aspect of Honda-san's retail experience. While the series is episodic, without an overarching plot, each episode builds on the show's concept and characters. The series is highly suitable for anyone who has a keen interest in manga, Japanese culture, or simply wants to enjoy a lighthearted short series. Let's see. Where to read Skullface Bookseller Honda-san manga. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san was first serialized online through the Pixiv comic website between August 2015 and March 2019. It was later collected into 4 tankobon volumes by Media Factory within Japan and was then licensed um, in North America by Yen Press. Each tankobon is available for purchase on Amazon as well as other retailers. The English release of Skullface Bookseller Honda-san can be purchased through most online retailers, including Barnes & Noble and Amazon. For those that prefer to read manga digitally, ebook editions can also be found through Amazon and Comixology. Excuse me a moment, folks. I'm going to step away for a quick moment, but I will be right back. I'll leave you some music to see where I'm going. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Uh, Continue on with the story here. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san was adapted into a television series by DLE, which aired from October to December in 2018. The series has 12 episodes directed by Al Todoroki, with a runtime of approximately 15 minutes each. The show can be streamed on Crunchyroll, where um, all episodes are currently available. For fans that want to get their hands on a physical copy of the series, there are two options that are available for purchase. The um, the DVD can be purchased on sites like Playtech Asia. A Blu-ray edition was recently released by Discotech Media in March 2022 and can be found on Otaku. Both the DVD and Blu-ray editions contain all 12 episodes, has a total runtime of 180 minutes. There we go. So, as I said, that's all of the anime stories. Now we're going to get into the comic stories. Let's see now. We do have 5 of these. Now, normally on CBR, I don't normally do stories beyond a day ago. But these two stories that I'm going to do here, I think, are pretty pertinent. One of them is Joe Quesada leaving Marvel, apparently, and the other one has to do with the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, and get into those. And then there are three others from today. So, all right, just over an hour. So, all right, so let's get started here. Joe Quesada announces Marvel departure, teases independent projects. Joe Quesada, Marvel's former chief creative officer, announces his departure from the publishing company and teases new independent projects. Guess he realized that Marvel is going down, maybe not as quickly as DC, but maybe he's seeing the writing on the wall there. Anyways, article by Brandon Schroer, published a day ago. Joe Quesada, Marvel's former chief creative officer, announced he'll be stepping away from the publishing company and starting some independent projects of his own. Quesada posted the announcement via his Twitter account. Quote, "When I first jumped into the world of comics, my goal was to create my own characters, stories, and universes." The post reads, quote, "Then one day Marvel made me an offer that changed the trajectory of my life. But lately, I found myself thinking more and more of my favorite stanza from T.S. Eliot's Little Gidding, in smaller quotes, 'We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started, and know the place for the first time.'" So that's why it's both exciting and bittersweet. After discussions with both my family and my family at Marvel, after 2+ decades, in parentheses here, has it really been that long? The time has come for me to move on. As you can imagine, my love for the company, its characters, and all my coworkers runs deep. But I have an exciting new chapter that's about to begin, so the time feels right, unquote. Quesada became an editor of Marvel Comics, quote, Marvel Knights, unquote, line in 1998, before being promoted to editor-in-chief of the company in 2000. Quote, "In August of 2000, Marvel took a shot on me and trusted me with the keys to the universe and has been my biggest supporter ever since." Unquote. Quesada said, quote, "During that time, I've had the great fortune to stand on the shoulders of giants, none broad than those of my predecessors and mentors. The best editorial team in the business, my co-working family, and most talented creators on earth who put their trust in me, especially in the early days when it looked like I was selling tickets on the Titanic. Thank you all for sharing your talents and pouring your heart and soul into every project. It's been an honor working with you, and I hope we get to do it all again." Unquote. Quesada was named Chief Creative Officer of Marvel Entertainment in 2010, a role that had him ensure all portrayals of Marvel characters were accurate and in line with Marvel lore. Yeah, I wonder if that became even harder when they started pushing agendas. You know, I wonder if that job became extremely difficult as they were trying to push agendas. Let's see. His position shifted to executive vice president and creative director Marvel Entertainment in 2019, when Marvel named Kevin Feige as chief creative officer of Marvel. Probably a death knell for them doing that. Quesada ensured fans that while he's stepping away from Marvel, he's not leaving the comics industry anytime soon. Quote, "This doesn't mean you're getting rid of me that easily," unquote, he said. Quote, "I won't ever be too far away cheering my Marvel family on and contributing from time to time, including something I'm thrilled about for later this year. I also have several insanely cool projects of my own that you'll be hearing about in the coming months, including a short indie film I'm writing and directing. Stay tuned." Quote, "It's been one hell of a ride, and I'm proud to have been a part of Marvel's rags to riches story and satisfied that I accomplished the job I was hired to do 22 years ago." In parentheses, seriously, where did the time go? But none of this happens without one very important person, you. My family and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without your love and support, we wouldn't have been able to go on this crazy adventure. And I hope you join us on our next one. I promise it's going to be amazing. See you in the funny books. Unquote. Right? Let's see. So here we go. So do have another story coming here. Let me see. I'm going to once again step away. Going to once again step away from the computer for a moment. Hey, Solid, long time no see. Yeah. Looks like Tug can finally move on with his life. Yeah, get back to comic stuff, right? Um, I used to follow Tug until he went totally one note with the depth trial. Glad he was born out, but I ain't going back to his channel. Well, I might, because I still might. Anyways, I'm gonna step away from the computer for a moment, guys. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream and see if we can get some more friendly, happy, friendly people on board, that'd be appreciated. I'm gonna step away from the camera for a quick moment before I move on to the next story here. Gotta take care of some things here real quick. I'll be right back, but I'll leave you guys some music to listen to while I'm gone. All right, I'm back, everybody. So Woody, why? Let's see. So why aren't you going back to his? I'd be curious to hear why you wouldn't be going back to his channel, Woody. You want to comment on that? Anyways, let's move on to the next article here. Hmm. Toronto Comic Arts Festival rescinds Pink Cat invitation following online backlash. I wonder what this is all about now. So the TCAF, the Toronto Comics and Arts Festival, has rescinded an invitation to Pink Cat Saba Moil following code of conduct violations and the concerns expressed by the comic community. I wonder what those code of conduct. Um, Article by Brendan Short, and again, this was published a day ago. Normally, I don't do day old stories from CBR because I usually don't feel the need to. But these two stories, the one I just did on Joe Quesada and this one, I think were warranted coverage. The Toronto Comic Arts Festival (TCAF) has rescinded an invitation to Pink Cat, the online personality of Saba Moil, due to quote code of conduct violations and the concerns expressed by the comics community unquote. Um, all right. So I wonder what this person did that got him. TCAF posted the announcement that Moil's invitation to the upcoming June 17th through 19th event had been rescinded via its Twitter account. Quote, TCAF initially extended a programming invitation to Moil on the basis of their daily digital comics work on Instagram and the personal importance that work had to one of our team members, unquote. The post reads, quote, at the time of this invitation, the organization was unaware of Moil's online conduct, plagiarism, or allegations of tracing. So apparently he may not have necessarily been creating his own comics, huh? Is that what they're trying to say here? We apologize for programming and promoting this artist. We made a mistake as a promise to our community. We will use this as a learning moment as we move forward as an organization, and we'll re-examine the checks and balances we currently use to process our programming decisions. I guess he was online conduct. I don't know what that generally means, but he's also accused of plagiarism and tracing here. Essentially, I think, at least with the plagiarism and tracing, I think it means they're essentially accusing him of maybe copying somebody else's work, just tracing over somebody else's work and calling it their own. I don't know as much about the other part of it, the online conduct part of it, but I guess we'll see what's going on with that here as we continue reading the article. The Post went on to address several matters brought to the organization's attention since Moil's invitation to the event was made public several days ago. Quote, TCAF does not accept money to program featured guests ever. Quote, it reads. Quote, those artists are selected along a wide set of criteria. Most featured guests at TCAF are funded to attend our festival through cost sharing between the festival publishers or international cultural agencies. No one in the TCAF organization has financial ties to Moil. Okay, so they basically saying that the basically the guests don't pay the organization to have them. Is that what they're trying to say with that one? I guess that's what they're trying to say with that. Well, TCAF is an organization of largely part-time staff who work in a collaborative framework. When an issue of this importance is raised, it takes time for us to come together and discuss the appropriate next steps, unquote. The statement continues, quote, if you want to know who we are, you can see our names on the About page of our website, and we can be reached through our public-facing email accounts, which are also on that page. TCAF does not tolerate bullying or threats against any creators, volunteers, or attendees participating in the festival. Any member of our community who is verbally abusive, violent, or otherwise overtly unwelcoming to any other TCAF participant will be removed from the event. So basically, I guess the online conduct they're talking about is this guy apparently was bullying or making threats. So basically, they rescinded his invitation because he was bullying, making threats, and then he was possibly caught tracing over and saying, saying that somebody else's work, tracing over somebody else's work and saying it was his own. That sounds like the gist of what was going on here. TCAF initially announced Pink Cat, the viral persona created by Moil, would be a featured guest at the upcoming event on May 28th, which was a few days ago. That was Sunday. Quote, Pink Cat is a Middle Eastern American viral artist born on Web2 and based in Richmond, California. Unquote. The bio TCAF posted on the artist reads, quote, a classically trained designer from Parsons School of Design. She has amassed a 250,000 followers on Instagram, 90% women ages 18 to 35, by posting her comics every day on social media since 2016. So she's apparently, I guess, the artist, the real life person behind this persona is a Middle Eastern woman or a Middle Eastern American woman. Let's see. By posting her comics every day on social media since 2016. After publishing her first comic book, Don't Care, Didn't Ask plus I'm Baby, she was featured in the LA Times twice. She's currently selling a generative NFT collection, merch, and self-producing an animated series based on her character. Unquote. Okay, so Anusha Saeed. Okay, Anusha Saeed. That's one name, and the other name was Bell Moil. Almost immediately, a number of social media users called out the artist's ties to NFTs, alleged patterns of tracing other artists' work, and online behavior. Oh wait. Oh, this guy came back. Um, you mean this artist calling your attendees and artists sick dogs? So um, this is, I guess, a quote from Pink Cat here. You guys should read the quoted tweets and see my DMs. Rejected artists are some sick dogs. This is why we need NFTs so artists don't have to struggle for their mental health. And then according to this, there's still time to apologize and say you got. Also, really, second Tank Girl art by, I guess they're showing some comparisons here. Putting Corey Bing here. Hey, at Toronto Comics. When one of your guests says it's quote okay to trace because nobody cares about art, and two, the only reason anyone is upset about any this is because we're all sad, angry rejects with mental health problems. That's not a great look. And we've been talking about a lot of those people. And apparently, this pink cat girl may be one of those people that we often talk about. Ah, let's see. And then Ngozi here tweeted, I will no longer be attending TCAF. Not only do I disagree with platforming of NFTs, but I also will not be a featured guest alongside an influencer who traces art and explicitly commodifies black culture. What was the thought process behind this? Wow, they got a serious amount of backlash here. And again, they probably, according to them, they didn't know about these issues beforehand. Pink Cat tweeted a number of related posts, one of which Caesar asked herself, quote, why did I trace Tank Girl art, unquote, to the complaints on May 31st? And here's her tweet here. Why did I trace Tank Girl art? Why did Occidental soldiers raid the Iraqi National Museum of Art and steal all of our cultural artifacts and history? Many questions to answer. So at least it sounds to me, it sounds like this girl is justifying. Yeah, it's like, well, people are evil, so it's okay for me to be evil. That's basically seems to be her reasoning here. If anybody has the mental health issue here, it's her. It's this Sabelle, whatever her name is, Moil or whatever. Um, she seems to have the mental health issue, not the people attending Toronto Comics Arts Festival. And then she replies here, give AF what people talking about. I'm releasing porn. Oh boy. Yeah, she another one of these twidiots don't get it. That's basically what Pink Cat here sounds like to me. She's another maybe they didn't read the museum on purpose. It was Occidental. Oh, oh, good joke there. Um, yeah, good one there. Yeah, maybe they didn't read the museum on purpose. It was Occidental. Ah, that's a good one, Woody. Anyways, let's finish this off and then we'll move on to the next article. Quote, we are very proud of the lineup of artists and exhibitors we have gathered for this year's festival, and it is our sincere hope that this error on our part does not overshadow the hard work of our team, our other guests, and exhibitors. TCAF post So basically, it may have been an honest mistake. They may not have realized what this person actually was in hindsight. So maybe cooler heads will prevail, and some of the people who that I won't be participating in or may come back for him. But anyways, gonna go ahead and get ready to move on to the next article here, as we got three more articles to go through. But that girl, Pink Cat, basically sounds like another Twittiot to me. She's justifying her own bad behavior by saying, "Well, other people did it worse." You know, it's kind of like saying it's okay to SA somebody because somebody else murdered somebody. It's kind of her line of reasoning there. It seems like to me, you know, it's like, oh, it's okay for me to SA somebody because hey, at least I didn't murder somebody like that person did. That seems to be her line of reasoning, you know. And I'm not advocating any bad behavior here, just to let people know in case people hear this, you know. All right, so let's get on to this next article here. We got three more articles to get through. We're coming up on an hour and a half, so we're, I think, making some good time here. Punisher Judge Dredd artist, preacher, co-creator Steve Dillon's life honored in new exhibition. Judge Dredd, Punisher artist and preacher co-creator Steve Dillon's life will be honored in a new exhibition put on by the Culture Trust Luton. An article by Brandon Schwer, published 10 hours ago. The work of Steve Dillon, co-creator, preacher, and the artist on Punisher, Judge Dredd, and much more, will be honored in an upcoming exhibition beginning on June 2nd. The Culture Trust Luton is putting on an exhibition titled Preacher, Punisher, and Judge Dredd, the work of British comic book legend Steve Dillon, within the Hat House basement of Luton's Hat District from June 2nd, which is tomorrow, to July 7th. The exhibition will showcase more than 50 works Dillon created from 1978 to 2016, the year that Dillon passed away at the age of 54. So he died pretty young there. Quote, this new show brings together some of the most iconic and original imagery from the world of comics and superheroes, unquote. The Culture Trust Luton creative director Samuel Havid said, quote, we have some of Steve's earliest works on show here, including some of his childhood drawings. We're honored to be working on the show with Steve's family. He has a special place in this town. We have roads called Preacher Close, Cassidy Close. Some of his ashes are buried here, and his local pub has a picture of him behind the bar, sticking his middle finger up. Okay, that's classy, unquote. Dillon, who lived and worked in Luton, began his professional career in comics at age 16. So I guess he was born in 1962, I would take it. When drawing a Hulk Weekly story for Marvel UK, he continued to work on titles such as Doctor Who magazine, Warrior, and more. For 2000 AD, Dillon created art for a number of Judge Dredd issues. In 1988, Dillon started his own comic magazine, Deadline, with Brett Evans, which lasted for 7 years. Dylan began working with Garth Ennis in the late 1980s. The two of them worked on DC's Hellblazer for a time before co-creating Preacher together in 1995. Preacher lasted for 66 issues and won an Eisner Award in 1999 for Best Continuing Series. Dylan later served as an executive producer on AMC's live-action Preacher adaptation starring Dominique Cooper that launched in 2016. Dylan first became involved with The Punisher in 2000 when drawing the character for the quote-unquote Marvel Knights line. So during Joe Quesada's tenure, I guess. He additionally contributed to the 2004 Punisher Countdown one-shot, 2010's Punisher Max series, and 2016's Punisher relaunch. Additionally, Dylan worked on Wolverine Origins, Thunderbolt, Scarlet Witch, and more for Marvel. For DC, he was the main artist on several issues of Animal Man, Screamer, and more. For more information on Preacher, Punisher, and Judge Dredd, the work of British comic legend Steve Dillon, visit culturetrust.com. See where we are at here. At the hour 34 mark. Wait, I'm going to step away again from the computer to do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, well, let's continue on then. We got a couple more articles to go through here. Reading this one. Marvel's Voices gives X-Men's Iceman new solo series for Pride Month. The X-Men's Iceman receives his own solo series, Marvel's Voices Iceman, just in time for Pride Month, from writer and artist Luciano Vecchio. Which, of course, we know this is probably extending from that one issue. I know RJ told me about it before from X-Men, where Jean Grey from another timeline or whatever came and basically put like a suggestion in Bobby Drake's head that he's gay. So, anyways, give me a sec. I gotta take care of another thing real quick here. I'll be right back. A couple things, so I'm gonna turn the music back on for one more time here for just a moment. Right, I'm back. Do it. Was somebody just? Hey, Chris. Yeah, well, it's just because I stepped away from the computer for a moment. But hey, thanks for popping in, my friend. Yeah, yeah, as Woody points out there, one of the things was actually Chloe I had to deal with. But aside from that, as well, there's some lighting situations in my room here. Um, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, and so we get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Also, let me continue on with this article here. Um, okay, article by Brendan Schwer, published 9 hours ago. So this is Iceman. Okay, so Marvel's longtime X-Men character Iceman is getting his own solo series. Marvel's voices Iceman #1 on Marvel Unlimited. Marvel announced that Robert Drake, Iceman, will star in a new four-part series from writer and artist Luciano Vecchio. The first issue of the series is available to read now on Marvel Unlimited and will continue to roll out weekly on the app. The synopsis reads, quote, Bobby Drake has had a big year, and after helping terraform the entire planet of Mars, he's out to explore what his Omega potential truly means. Kicking off Marvel Comics' commemoration of Pride Month, Marvel's Voices Iceman is a four-part series that celebrates life, love, and all the beautiful complications in between. And of course, I'm thinking partly that maybe this is also coming from the point RJ, as I mentioned before. RJ mentioned this to me before, where I guess there was an X-Men comic back in 2015 where they just all of a sudden made Bobby Drake gay. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Iceman first appeared in 1963's X-Men #1, a founding member of the X-Men. Iceman is a mutant with the power to create ice out of thin air by freezing the water vapor around him. He's been a member of X Factor, the Future Foundation, and other superhero teams. And of course, many of us who grew up in the early to mid 80s there, remember, Frank Welker voicing him in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends too. And I know that's a different Keenan altogether, but hey, Iceman appeared in several of the 20th Century Fox's live-action X-Men film, and then of course, Iceman Bobby Drake was later used in X-Men Evolution in the early 2000s as well, voiced, I believe, by Andrew Francis. Where he was portrayed by the boy's Shawn Ashmore. Iceman came out as gay in Marvel's all-new X-Men in April 2015 when Jean Grey learns of the revelation through her telekinetic abilities. November 2015's Uncanny X-Men #600 confirmed that the character was gay, which was then further explored in a 2017 solo series written by Sina Grace. Yes, Mighty Marvel Holiday Special Iceman's New Year's Resolution, released on December 31st, 2021, from Vecchio and VC's Joe Sabino. The one shot follows the Omega level mutant as he battles an ice demon from another dimension. While waiting for the ball to drop in Times Square on New Year's Eve. After defeating the foe, Iceman shares a kiss not with his boyfriend Christian Frost, who is also Emma Frost's brother, but with a version of himself he creates out of ice with his. Oh boy! And these people. Excuse me one more time. Things are getting a little too dim in here, so I guess I'm going to have to turn on my room light here. Maybe I should have did that a moment ago, but I will once again be right back. All right. Anyways, getting back to the let's see, getting back to the article here. In addition to Marvel's Voices Iceman #1, Marvel is also celebrating Pride Month with Marvel's Voices Pride #1 releasing on June 22nd, which is 3 weeks from today. The giant-sized one-shot anthology will highlight both LGBTQIA plus creators and characters from across the Marvel Universe. Those featured in the upcoming issue include Young Avengers, Loki, Moondragon, two Black Panther characters, Hercules and Marvel Boy, and more. Marvel's Voices Iceman #1 comes from Vecchio and editor Sarah Brunstad. The issue is available to read now on Marvel Unlimited. Excuse me one more time. I gotta go check. I think Chloe's outside barking again. Anyways, I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. Yeah, it was I guess another dog. Always inside here. Anyways, moving on. This is the last article we're going to be reading tonight, and then I do have some wrestling news to go over as well as the Disney Needs history. So might be getting close to the 2 hour, if not going beyond the 2 hour mark here. Right, we're already at hour 48. So, um, anyways, get into this. Creepshow comic resurrected at Skybound with an all-star creative team. Skybound Entertainment announces a new 5-issue anthology Creepshow comic series launching this September from an all-star team of creators. Article by Brendan Schwer, published 8 hours ago. Skybound announced Creepshow is getting a new 5-issue anthology comic series spinning off the Shudder TV series. The new comic will launch this September from Skybound, brokered by Stryker Entertainment. Each issue of the 5-part anthology will feature different creative teams from the comics, film, and television industries. Contributors include Chris Burnham, Paul Dini, Steve Langford, Josh Mallerman, David and Maria Lapham, Steve Fox, John McCrae, Kelly Jones, and more to be announced. Overseeing the project on behalf of Greg Nictorero's Monster Agency Productions is Brian Witten. Quote, Creepshow has consistently been one of the best things in horror for the last 40 years. For Skybound to be able to carry on such a rich history, rich horror tradition, is an absolute thrill, quote, said Skybound editor John Moyson. We knew a franchise this prolific would require the best talent in the industry. So we assembled a collection of creators that will do the Creepshow proud. The stories they have planned are going to scare the absolute hell out of people, unquote. Creepshow is a 1982 horror anthology film directed by Gregory A. Romero. It went on to spawn two sequels, 1987's Creepshow 2, directed by Michael Gornick, and 2006's Creepshow, directed by Anna Clavel and James Doodleson. A Creepshow graphic novella was published in 1982, around the same time as the first film's release. In 2018, Shudder announced Creepshow was being adapted to a television show by Walking Dead's Nico Tero. The Cartel Entertainment produced anthology series has aired 3 seasons so far, along with a handful of holiday specials, and has been renewed for a 4th. Quote, growing up a fan of horror comics and famous monsters, I will never forget the thrill of seeing a new issue hit the stands. Thumbing through the pages with the anticipation of diving into a dark, twisted, and outrageous world full of ghouls, zombies, and horror and classic comeuppance, unquote, said Nicotero. Quote, I'm very proud to see Creepshow find its rightful place on comic book shelves everywhere, unquote. Stryker Entertainment president Russell Binder added, Skybound is simply the best in class when it comes to marrying beloved of content with established and burgeoning talent. Stan Spry, Greg, and all the producers, including myself, are ecstatic to have Skybound come on board to provide another engaging experience to fans of the Creepshow series. Creepshow number 1 features cover art by Burnham. This issue will be available at comic book shops, digital platforms including Amazon, Kindle, Apple Books, Comixology, and Google Play on September 21st. So there we go with that one. So that's all of the articles we're going to read tonight, but we do still have a little bit more to cover here in terms of some other news items, wrestling news, as well as, of course, the This Day in Each History segment. So it looks like we are going to run a little beyond 2-hour mark here. So let's see. So a couple of news items coming out of WE. WE. One of them is that there is huge interest in MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, currently under contract with AEW. Now, some of you, if you guys have been paying attention the last few days, MJF has had some disagreements, feels he's not being paid enough by AEW, and has, he no-showed a fan event, on Saturday for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. They kind of squashed him on the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, having Wardlow deliver 10 powerbombs. But WWE has shown significant interest. they would consider giving him a huge payout to come to WWE, um, which I think is what he's looking for. Now, from what I understand, I think MJF is under contract. Hey, May, what's up, Mike and Woody? No articles? No, I just finished the articles a few minutes ago. just like right before you came on, May. I finished the articles like right before you came on. I had 11 of them tonight. You can always go back and watch them, at your leisure. That's why you got to remember to get here on time because I went right into them. I had like 11 articles to go through, and I went through all of them tonight. So, we're now onto the wrestling news here. Anyways, getting back to it. So yeah, WWE is very interested in MJF. Laugh out loud. Oh wow, nice. All right. So, um, so there's that story. Also, Sasha and Naomi have apparently cut off ties with WWE. Now here's the thing. Right now, so there's some rumors that their contracts are both up, and how they and the WWE are handling it. Apparently, nobody's sure if like if the WWE has decided to freeze their contracts for fear that they might go sign with AEW if they just let them go. The only thing is that if they freeze their contracts, they still have to pay. They have to pay them. If they're not paying them, then that's an issue. They're freezing them to keep them from going to AEW. And they're not releasing them, not letting their contracts run out. The only time you can, I guess, freeze a contract is either if a worker refuses to work, or which is kind of what they're doing, or they can't come to an agreement, but you still have to pay them. So that story is evolving, and also another WWE related story. Tammy Sitch, known to most WWE fans as Sunny, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter charges for her basically driving without a license, and apparently driving under the influence as well, and ended up killing a 75-year-old man in Florida. She pleaded not guilty to those charges, and now we'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. In AEW news, Jeff Hardy and Adam Cole were both pulled out of the 10-man tag event for tonight's Dynamite, as they both were injured. Now, Hardy's injuries were, I talked a lot about this last night too. But it was also announced today that Adam Cole was also pulled from the event due to injuries. I guess hurt his shoulder during the Owen Hart tournament. So yeah, and I did just see. I'll probably have more news, tomorrow on AEW in terms of like what's to come, because I guess now they're talking a lot about Forbidden Door, which is supposed to be coming up at the end of this month here. I think on Sunday, June 26th, Forbidden Door, which is an event they're co-producing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, will be coming up at the end of the month here. I think one of New Japan's top stars, just from what I saw, the headline that I saw earlier, challenged CM Punk for his newly won AEW World Championship. So with that, guys, now it's a good time to probably get into. Now it's time to start closing things out a little bit here, as it's time to start closing things out a bit here as we now get into this day in each history. History! Let me just review something. 95, 82, 92. Okay, so anyways, today being the first day of June 2022, why don't we take a look back at this day in each history? History! All right, the first stop we're going to go back to 1982. Now, granted, albeit the specific day was not given here, this is going on throughout the entire month, I would imagine. So on this date back in 1982, during this month, as it were, Vince McMahon and his company Titan Sports purchased the World Wrestling Federation and then parent company Capital Wrestling Corporation from his father Vince Sr. and other shareholders. So it was basically in June of 1982 in which the Vince McMahon we all know, Vince McMahon Jr., bought out his dad and basically changed the world of pro wrestling for, forever, basically. So it was during this month, starting June 1st, of course, that this happened. So anyways, getting ready to move on to the next piece in each history. We move ahead 30 years ago today, which is 1992, as on this date in 1992, Golden Films and another one of their lower budgeted versions of the films that Disney were doing at the time. On this date, back in 1992, Golden Films released The Three Musketeers, which was basically a lower budget lower budget version of what did at this time Disney was, of course, everybody knows Disney was releasing a bunch of kind of fairy tale movies like Beauty and the Beast, Sinbad, Aladdin, all that in the early 90s here. Golden Films was kind of doing a lower budget version of that. They were releasing a bunch of films like this, but it led to some kind of lawsuit that Disney, like, claiming that, oh, they can't do this because we're doing it, but Disney ended up losing in court there over it. So these were films that were produced by Golden Films as American Investment Corporation, and they were distributed. And then the animation production was done by KKC&D Asia, and then the distributor was Good Times Home Video. So on this date in 1992, 30 years ago today, Golden Films' version of The Three Musketeers was released on this date in 1992. So, one last piece of niche history, and then we will probably be done here for the night. On this day in 1995, which was 27 years ago today, the 45th issue of Veronica from Archie Comics went on sale on this date in 1995. So 27 years ago today in 1995, the 45th issue of Veronica from Archie Comics went on sale on this date in 1995. So there you go, everybody. There we go. That's it. I thank everybody for being here tonight. Of course, don't forget this Friday we will be doing our historical comic retrospect. We'll be due to the technical issues we had last week. We had to move what we are going to do last week to this week. So we're still going to be starting our coverage of February 1939 with DC Comics. This week, though, Backo is going to be traveling, so I've asked RJ Carter of Critical Blast to join me. He'll be here with me to do the show, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow night and Friday. Until then, bye!